What is going on, everyone? Happy New Year. It is now 2017, which means it is now officially time for me to run through a schedule for you so you know exactly what games I'm planning on covering in the next few months. One thing I do have to say before I start this video, this year in particular, there are a lot of games that are supposed to be coming out within certain time frames, but they don't have solid release dates yet. So I just want to warn you, there may be games in here along these first few months that I'm very interested in playing, but they don't have solid release dates yet, so I couldn't put them on the calendar. However, if there was a game that I was super interested in, I did actually list it on the side, and we'll go through that as I go through my game release calendar here, okay? So right now it's early January. It's the first week of January. As you can see, there are no real major releases all month. Now, keep in mind there are a few, like for example, I think there's Gravity Rush 2 and one or two others, and I'm going to be honest with everyone, I'm just not interested in those games. I'm not. And so I'm not interested in them, I'm not going to play them. So what I'm going to be doing for the month of January is downtime stuff. First of all, I'm already amidst a playthrough of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I will be continuing that for the next several weeks. In addition, I am going to begin a Dark Souls 1 clean run playthrough. Meaning I'm actually going to beat the game legitimately this time, which I've never done. It'll be my first actual run through the game from start to finish without any interruptions or, hand-holding summons or anything like that like the first time that I did it. Remember I played that game in 2011, or was it 10? No, 2011. Failed, sucked at it, canceled my playthrough, started again in 2013 and had my hand held by stream chat and people being summoned. I'm going to beat it legitimately this time with face cam, with death counter, and all of that. So that's going to be going on throughout January, and there may or may not be more time for other stuff as well. I'll let you know as the month progresses, alright? In addition, during January, my year-end series are going to continue. Right now, the Disappointing Games of 2016 countdown is already live on KO Gaming, but also there's going to be the fan-voted funniest moments countdown, as well as my Game of the Year award. So all that's going to basically be going on these first 3 or so weeks of January. On January 22nd, I'm going to be doing my Twitch and Chill Marathon, alright? What I'm going to be doing is upgrading patrons who pledged to my Patreon in the month of December 2016. They're going to get their forum accounts upgraded roughly this week. This is the second week of January, and then for a week they're going to be nominating games on my forums. I'm going to take a look at what games are there and pick the best ones that I feel are best suited to a marathon. And on the 22nd, I'm going to be doing a 7+ hour marathon on Twitch TV, where I'm playing games that really don't cater themselves well to playthroughs, but have a lot of potential for stream chat interaction, for me to really just be hanging out with people for a day rather than worrying about a game playthrough. So that's going to be on the 22nd. Resident Evil 7 releases on the 24th, and I actually think if it's available on PlayStation 4 early, I'm probably going to do a midnight release stream, the first midnight release stream of 2017, the night before. Okay, so that would be, the 23rd. Now, in addition to that, supposedly Yakuza 0 is also coming out the same day as Resident Evil 7. I'm going to be completely and utterly honest with everyone here. I know Yakuza 0 is going to be a niche game. It was when I played Yakuza 4 and Yakuza 5. There's a very small group of people who like watching me play that kind of game, but it's not a mainstream audience. So I'll definitely be doing Resident Evil 7. Yakuza 0 I'm interested in, but I'm not going to guarantee you that I'm going to do it. It really is going to depend on a number of factors, such as did I finish up all my other playthroughs for the month and stuff before Resident Evil 7 started. So we'll see, alright? Supposedly there's a new Double Dragon 4 coming out around the end of the month. I wasn't clear if it was the 30th or the 31st. I mean, the 31st would make sense because it's a Tuesday. Double Dragon is a side-scrolling beat-em-up from the 1980s. It was on the NES and arcade systems. It's really silly that they're making a new one, especially because if you remember a few years ago, they made a new Double Dragon game, and it didn't necessarily do very well. So for them to make a new Double Dragon called Double Dragon 4... I don't know, but I'm interested in it because it's a retro game. I played all 3 Double Dragons. I own 2 and 3 on the NES. It would be very interesting to play a new one. Okay. February, we've got Nioh, or I think it's a Nioh, which I played the demo of last year. And, well, it wasn't really the demo, it was more of a beta. And I definitely liked it. Looks like it's going to be a very challenging, interesting style game, and that's going to be coming out on the 7th. On the 14th, we've got 2 games, For Honor and Sniper Elite 4. I am interested in both of those. And at the end of the month, we've got Horizon Zero Dawn. Again, I think there may be some games during this month that may or may not come out, okay? There are some strong rumors about some games that may be coming out, but since they don't have solid release dates, I didn't list them. March is actually a much more full month. If you take a look, we got Ghost Recon Wildlands and Nier Automata both coming out on the 7th. I definitely want to do Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I'm going to throw this out there. Since it is a co-op game, I want to do co-op. So I'll be looking for people who are basically dedicated and want to do a full co-op run through this game with me. I've already got about 1 or 2 people who've already contacted me about this and said they're very interested. So if you're interested, I think it's 3 or 4 player co-op. You might want to keep it in mind. Obviously, I'm going to be getting that on PS4 like I always do, and that could be a fun co-op playthrough, right? Nier Automata, some people are saying they played the demo, they really liked it. I don't know. I'm considering it, but I don't want to commit to it yet. All right, Star Trek Bridge Crew VR. It's a Star Trek VR game. Is coming out on the 14th. I actually really want to do that because I was a fan of Star Trek. I've actually been watching Star Trek The Next Generation recently, and we saw this at E3 last year, and it looked like a joke, but I have PSVR, and a few of the games really impressed me, and, you know, they were, even though they were gimmicks, they were still fun, unique experiences, so maybe I'd like to do that, okay? Mass Effect Andromeda just got a release date, March 21st. I'll be playing it, baby, which means probably, because that's a huge release, I'll probably be doing a midnight release the night before, okay? Midnight stream. And I've decided this year, as long as nothing throws me off from doing it, I think I want to play MLB this year because I did not play it last year, and I really didn't play any sports games last year. I didn't do NBA, I didn't do Madden, I didn't do MLB, I didn't do NHL, and I think this year I at least want to get back into them, and I know it's been a long time since I played MLB, so that's going to be the one that I definitely check out earlier on in the year in March. All right, now, there's a few things, you see I wrote them on the side of the calendar here that are uncertain. First of all, the Nintendo Switch is supposed to be releasing in March, but doesn't have a release date. If it does actually release in March, that means you're going to have that new Mario game as a launch title, as well as maybe obviously some other games that I'll be checking out along with the launch of the Switch, but we have to wait for it to officially be announced before we can worry about that. Also, Outlast 2 is supposed to be released sometime in this first quarter of the year, but no information yet on a release date. And also, South Park The Fractured But Whole was supposed to come out last year in 2016. It got delayed till February 2017, but we don't have a date yet. More than likely, it's probably going to end up coming out around this time frame, so I slapped it on there, okay? In addition to all those, Injustice 2 is also supposed to be coming out in this time frame. If it has anything like what Midway usually does, I'm expecting it in April. Both Injustice 1 and Mortal Kombat 10, they released in April, and they did incredibly well releasing it at that time of the year. I think Injustice 2 will be coming out sometime in April. Speaking of April, Persona 5. Holy crap, have we waited a long time for this game. Finally coming out on April 4th. I will be all over that. In fact, yes, I might actually do a midnight premiere stream for it. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 is a game I'm considering playing. I've never done the Ghost Warrior series, right? So I'd be interested to see what exactly this one's about. A few people actually asked me if I was going to play that this year. I don't know, but I put it on there just so I know what it is, and we'll decide. But Yooka-Laylee, the spiritual successor modernized game based off of Banjo-Kazooie, yes, I want to play it. After playing Banjo-Kazooie last year, I definitely want to check out Yooka-Laylee when it releases on April 11th. So this is what we've got in the near future, the next few months, for game releases. As things change, as games get more solid release dates, I will add those to the calendar so everyone is well aware of what's going on, okay? But for now, this is what we're looking at, and if there's anything that has a release date that you feel I've left out, please leave a comment on the video and let me know, oh, Phil, you forgot this, or what about this? Always open to discussion about playing different games and stuff, but I think I've hit upon most of the major releases that I'm interested in for this time of the year. Now, also keep in mind, all these games, if I play them full playthroughs, I'll be covering them in reviews over on KO Gaming. So I'm going to try to keep the reviews moving this year rather than have a ton of dead time and have that channel die after the year-end series. No, instead I'm going to be playing these games and reviewing games, and I think hopefully I can keep it up. It'll do well, all right? That's it, everyone. Thank you for watching my schedule update for early 2017. See you later.